Welcome back to You Talk Live. I'm Greg Wells, your host. And in this episode, we're going to be responding to today's Pat McAfee show, including the $500 giveaway that was on Pat McAfee's show today. We are just opening up the room on Zoom right now, getting some smiling faces into our Zoom meeting here. I want to welcome you back to You Talk Sports. And today we are going to be responding to the Pat McAfee show, including the $500 giveaway that Pat McAfee had on his show today. If you didn't see this, we're going to get right to it. And it's an opportunity for every single one of you to get a quick $500 from Pat McAfee. So awesome to see some familiar faces here as well as some new people. We will hear from everyone here in today's show. That's what we do in this show. You Talk Sports is a show where you get to be in the show. So if you are a sports fan who maybe remembers the days of call-in radio, that's kind of the vibe of what we're going for. Or if you watch shows like Pat McAfee and you're like, dang, I could be sharing something just as good as what they have to say, then this is the place where you get to do that. We are a community where you get to be in the show. We're a community that comes together every night, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And today we're going to be responding to Pat McAfee's content. I've picked out some clips in there that I'll play and would love to get your takes on those clips. We'll hear from everyone who's here today. Everyone will get to contribute to the show. And then every night we have our game of the night. Tonight's game of the night is an NBA game. When we're in football season, we'll have football games on Mondays and Thursdays and Sundays. This is really NBA season. So the NBA game kicks off at 8:30 p.m. You're encouraged to stay for that if you're a basketball fan. If you're not a basketball fan, we get it. The first part of the show, we'll be talking football, basketball, and you can chime in wherever you have a take. But starting at 8:30, we'll be watching the game that's on TNT. Every night, we center around the game that's on TNT or ESPN. Tonight's game is the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm excited to see Ja Morant. I'm pretty sure he's back, and Giannis. To be honest, I only start watching NBA when football ends, which is just this week. So I need to get all caught up and would love for you to help me get caught up on the NBA. Our mission is to connect sports fans that are isolated. Isolation is a big problem in the world. That's what we're out to solve. That's what I do in my marketing agency is I build communities for motivational speakers or influencers. It's the first time I'm putting myself out there into something, building a community around sports. And our mission is to connect the people that are isolated, people that are home alone, watching a game, and would love to be a part of a community where we can watch the games together. So that's what we're going to do every night. We'll come together. We'll watch a game together. We'll chime in. We'll have fun. Last night, we watched the game. It was a great game between the Cavs and the Bulls. It ended at about 10, and we were having so much fun. We kept going. We rolled right into the Golden State game after that last night, although that's getting a little late for me. I'm excited that you're here. The second thing that we are building our show around is learning from sports to succeed in business. You know, there's so much of what I learned playing sports is what's made me successful in business. So from time to time, we'll have guest speakers. Today, we're going to have a guest speaker for a few minutes around 8 o'clock on AI. AI is something that we use a lot in my marketing agency. I want to start to use it more in what we're doing in this show. It's a skill you need to be learning. And if you can learn it here as part of being in our community, how valuable is that for you as well? And if you don't know anything about AI, don't worry. And we're just going to spend a few minutes each night on that. That'll be coming up at about 8 o'clock. To start, I want to dive right into the Pat McAfee content. And I also want to mention, we are looking to build out a team. Some people are here because they're interested in joining our team. My vision is that we're going to have a core team of people that leads the show going forward. To be the person who joins the team needs to be producing moments. And this is essentially an audition for you to produce some potentially viral moments, right? Viral moments are funny things, outrageous things. You know, it's it's, sometimes maybe you don't know much about basketball and you say something, that's actually the best moment for online. So don't be afraid if you don't know something to speak up. That's what we're looking for. I'm just in terms of who we're going to bring onto the team. The goal will be we'll have a core team of 3 to 5 of us that host the shows. That way, if I need a night off, somebody else can come in. We all have lives, the shows every night from 7 to 10. We might even expand the hours and to serve the West Coast audience beyond that with the show. And then so there'll be the core of us, and then there'll be people that we come up out of the chat, out of the audience that want to participate and come up every night and be our guests, be people that come in kind of like a talk show call-in callers would be. So that's kind of the vision of where we're going. With that in mind, let's dive right into what Pat McAfee was talking about today. The NBA All-Star Game is coming up, and it's in Indianapolis. And Pat McAfee's show is in Indianapolis, if you don't know it. And Pat had today on the show Tyrese Haliburton, and they essentially did this bet. You're going to see the clip, and they did this bet where they would give away $500 to up to 100 people if Tyrese hit the shot. And then there were some directions afterwards as to what you needed to do to claim the money. I've already done it, and we're going to go through that so that all of you guys can do that as well and claim that for yourselves here tonight. It does have to do with reposting the moment. And so if you don't have a YouTube channel that you can post to, you're welcome to post to our channel. But let's go through exactly what was on the Pat McAfee show today. We're going to cover that clip. That'll probably take us the next 5 or 6 minutes. And then we're going to get into some of the more controversial things that he was talking about on his show that I've handpicked. And I would love to get your take on each of these things. That's what we're going to be doing for the first hour. Then we're going to get into AI. And then at 8:30, we'll tip off our NBA game of the night. So let's pull up the clip from today about winning the $500. How awesome would it be if every single one of us got $500 for being here today? Talk Live. I'm Greg Wells, your host. And in this episode, we're going to be responding. That is me talking. You can tell I'm still figuring out the tech on all this. Boom, there we go. We don't want to hear me playing the video. I was just hopping over to YouTube to make sure the video is still playing. Part of how I'm building this is just being very transparent in how I'm building this as well. I'm kind of documenting the journey of starting from scratch and building an online sports channel so that anyone and everyone in our audience can kind of follow along and have their own sports channel. Because wouldn't it be an absolute dream if we could just watch sports and talk about sports and get paid for sports? I'm a guy who makes those kind of dreams come true. That's what I'm out to do. And that's my invitation to you to journey along with me. So this is the clip today with Tyrese. So let's start with playing this. And then we're going to get into making sure everyone's clear on what they need to do to get the money. And then we're going to get into taking takes from everyone here today.
Are you going to make this? Do you think you're going to make this? This shot here?
How about if I make this match?
Okay.
Now,
How many people?
50 people.
Okay, so 100 winners?
100 winners if I make this.
Okay, we need. All right.
All right, Tyrese.
I love this. I love everything about this. Smart play by Bill.
Oh,
Wow.
the touch.
Are you kidding me?
I'm after this.
You got a trick shot off the stair. What's that?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You guys can hear it, right?
So a total of 100 people.
You might need to explain it, Greg. It's not the best volume.
$50,000 on a Thursday. No, you're not that type of guy. Yes, you do.
No.
This guy hates people. This guy hates people. I've never seen anybody hate people. What the hell? You said it, you're the baby face. You're here. Hold up. Please. Holy hell.
Finish your story. Right before.
Hey, listen. Yes.
Yeah, they all are right.
Yeah, Josh, you're a professional. You're going to win a three-point shooting contest on Saturday.
Easy.
Hey, let's remember that rim's lower, by the way.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
that rim,
maybe.
9/11.
Drafty in there too.
9/11.
And maybe on this one.
I don't know if we need to change
No,
it.
that might even be worse.
Tyrese Haliburton right now, if you bury this stage shot, 50 winners from me of $500,
Right.
50 winners from you of $500.
Right.
The story has so many different outcomes. What will it be for you, Tyrese Haliburton? Oh. Get it back, get it back. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Indianapolis, Indiana, right here at the Thunderdome, the host of the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Come on.
NBA All-Star, Tyrese Haliburton, will attempt to win 100 people. $500. All you gotta do is make one state shot. Finish it. Oh.
See, this is also hammering home that this is a very difficult shot. Yeah, people have been saying,
That's true.
people make it, now people know how hard it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tough rims around here. You're Cody.
You're Cody Rhodes.
I think, well, airboats too, but we'll talk about just the bricks.
Hey. What's your pick?
We're going to come back to this in just a minute. I forgot one of the most important things we need to do here is we need to make sure that we get everyone watching on our YouTube channel as well as here on Zoom, right? Because our goal is to build up our YouTube audience. I should have mentioned this right from the beginning. So I'm going to put the link in here in the Zoom chat for you guys to our YouTube channel, the YouTube broadcast of this, what we're broadcasting live here today. And if everyone could open up another browser tab or your phone tab and just pull that up, that is a requirement to be here. And again, it's just helping us to see the YouTube channel with some viewers and some audience. It helps us to grow the channel as well. So just copy and paste that link into another browser tab and get YouTube up. And then of course you'll want to mute that one, right? Or else you'll get the echo like I was getting here. And this will just get us, some views and some activity. I'm being totally transparent here. The more views we get, the more reach you get on YouTube. It's kind of piggyback marketing, right? We're hoping to piggyback on some Pat McAfee stuff with this. One of the reasons we're centering around the NBA game of the night is because there's already I've been researching this, there's about 300 to 500 people a night that go to YouTube and want to watch the NBA game of the night. My plan is if they see that they can watch the game here with us every night and be in the chat and Zoom with us, we'll scoop up some of that traffic, and that's how we'll start to build the audience. These are the kinds of things that I've done time and time again for my marketing agency, and that we're going to be using kind of grassroots to build up this channel here from scratch. So if everyone could pull that up, and if everyone could put a comment in the chat that's on there, this way we know that you're here. If you're not here, we're going to be dismissing you from the event. And Sharon, good to see you. I'm going to make you co-host if you could help with just letting people in the event in case anybody's in the waiting room once we get going. All right, let's dive back into this moment. It was a funny thing how they just kept they wanted to get their soundbite, their clip of him making it, right? That's what they're going to publish out there. But the whole thing's in the podcast of him. He kept missing. And then eventually, of course, he makes the shot. We can kind of fast forward up to where he is.
Tyrese Haliburton's going to try to finish his story. And if he's able to do that, 100 people will win $500 from the stage. NBA All-Star. Whoa.
So strong. Maybe back up a little.
Honestly,
You're really not this tall. I think
you're all trick basketball. 7-4. Hold on.
Oh, no. No, I didn't count.
You gotta reset, because when we clip this, it's gonna be your first shot.
Yeah, you should sit down.
Yeah.
Well,
There's certainly a contingency of people that are gonna see this.
Oh, yeah.
Just sit up. Let's do this. Sit up.
Yeah,
remember
That water's fresh there, baby.
You want water? Tyrese, that was an incredible interview, man. Thank you for stopping by. You're great on the show. I'd love to get a chance to chat with you again. And before you leave, you want to maybe shoot to win some people some money?
Sure, that'd be awesome.
Okay. 50 people will win $500 if you shoot that ball into this super right over here.
You know what? Because you guys have been so awesome, I'm gonna match that.
No! Check the record. 100 people, $500, $50,000 on the court. It's Thursday to kick off NBA All-Star Weekend.
Well, and somehow this basketball is ended in my hands.
Yeah, it's like you're professional basketball.
Yeah, it's always in your hand. I carry it in my pocket.
All right, guys, for 100 people. Holy shit, this is a huge day.
Come on.
This will be great.
Need to hear.
That was the one.
I mean,
That was the one.
I don't want to be that guy, but I decided just, let's see what they're saying on Twitter. Tyrese Haliburton is embarrassing himself on the Pat McAfee. Bro can't make a fucking shot to save his life. So I'm just telling you right now, that's just one.
That's not true. That's not true. You can't make a shot. Don't know.
Come on.
What we know is that when you make this shot right here, we'll get 50 people $500.
50? Are you sure?
We'll get 50 people $500.
That's the most I think we've done all year.
All year. That's certainly the most.
Yeah.
100 people $500. All I can do is put that ball in that hoop right now.
You know his name? His at is, or her, I'm not sure, is Tropical Farms.
Tropical Farms.
Yep.
Pay him a visit. 100 people.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, Braun.
There it is.
100 people.
Nice pass.
Yeah. Yeah. Got the hands on as well. And Travis. What's that all about?
Oh,
these guys have figured it out.
Now she's Tropical Farms.
Hey, cheese.
She's Roman.
Yeah. Yeah, she knows. Oh, no.
That's David. That's David.
100 people, $500. Aaron Paul again.
We're gonna need one here.
All right, this is it. All right, I like that.
That's a good deal.
She just got a deal out of this. Something.
The pass.
That was a good chest pass right there. 100 people, $500.
Finally.
Let's go. Oh my God. Go, man. That's the difference between NBA guys and regular guys. He steps up and bangs, shot him first time.
That's way first time.
100 people, $500. Hey, thank you, Tyrese. Thank you, Tyrese Haliburton. Hey, thank you. That was awesome.
That was sick.
I cannot believe he just did that.
I mean, $50,000.
100 people, $500.
Are you kidding me? First shot.
We gotta go thank first shot.
All you gotta do is repost the video, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you. 100 people, $500 to kick off All-Star Weekend here by Tyrese Haliburton.
Come on.
NBA All-Star from the Indiana Pacers, basically hosting the entire thing. Thank you, Tyrese.
Boom. All right. So did you guys get that as far as what the directions are? All you got to do is repost that clip in the video, which we have here. You can grab it from our clip, or you can go to that original clip. I want to show you mine. I already went ahead and did it here, right? If you guys are seeing this on the screen, Tyrese Haliburton makes a shot for 100 people with $500 on the Pat McAfee show. Put in my PayPal here and tag them, right, so that they're sure to see it. As of I checked right before we went on this, there's still only a handful of people that have done this. I saw only like less than 10. There might be some that I didn't see yet, but for sure they are not at 100 yet. And so if each of us goes and does this, we should each be able to claim the $500 right now. I'm excited. Especially, you know, as we are going to talk about the Pat McAfee show here today, and have this moment kind of recorded that you were here, and, you know, we'll be able to kind of all vouch for each other and make sure that we all get our $500 from Pat McAfee. You can bet I'll be reaching out to him to let him know that we all did this. And if you don't, you do have to repost it to YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube channel, or even if you do, post it on your own social media if you want, but I would appreciate it if you guys, sent me the video as well, and then we can post it up on our channel. Obviously, this is a brand new channel. This is a channel I rebranded from back in my agency days, but that's would give us a video. So that's how you can get the $500 from Pat McAfee. And everyone who is here can do that. And I would encourage you guys to do that at some point today. Let's dive into what we're here for today, is to get your takes on things. And one of the first things that Pat McAfee was talking about, he had Kendrick Perkins on the show. We're going to play a quick clip. Is the slam dunk contest, the NBA slam dunk contest. And, you know, Jaylen Brown is coming into the dunk contest this year. It's the first time we've had like a star in a while. And I would love to hear from you. Who would you love to see in the dunk contest? What NBA player, past or present, but who would be on your wish list to see in this? And so we're going to play the clip, and then I want to take your takes. And what we're going to do tonight, because we have quite a few people here, is we're going to use the Zoom raise of hand feature. Let's just practice that now to make sure everybody knows how to do that. And if anybody doesn't, we can help you out. But it's in your Zoom settings, which again, if you're going to be a co-host or be on our team, you're going to want to know how to do this. Go ahead and raise your hand inside of Zoom right now. There, you see what it looks like. Michael did it. Will did it. Let's make sure everybody knows how to do this. And sees what they click on how to do it. It's mine always looks a little different because I'm the host here, but it's under reactions, and then raise your hand. Does everybody see that there? And is able to do that? Okay, cool. Go ahead and put your hands down now, and that's what we'll use. So as we do this, if you want to give us a take, on the topic. Well, we're going to pick some stuff from Pat McAfee on basketball, on football, on current events, the stuff that he gave us, and we'd love to get your take. And we're looking for the best takes. If and great takes is not like is really giving your opinions, really being something that we haven't heard yet before. And this, the way we will be doing this with the hands is like, if we talk about NBA and you're not into NBA, then we're not calling on you, putting you on the spot to talk about something you don't really know anything about. So let's just put all the hands down for now. Michael and Moses and Sharon, good job getting those up. And we'll play the clip on the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, and we'll come back around and take our first set of takes on this.
Last year we had McComb, right? The kid that won the dunk contest. Excellent idea, right? Bringing in someone that actually wants to participate in the dunk contest, because we saw over the last few years, like, the dunk contest was on the downward spiral.
Oh yeah.
The tops in the game, they didn't want to enter the dunk contest, and all of a sudden you see a guy like Jaylen Brown, right, come in late and say, you know what? Let me add this to my resume. And that's what we want. We want guys like Jaylen Brown. We want guys like John Moran. We want Zion Williamson. And I think what Jaylen Brown did was fantastic, because he jumped off the porch and said, you know what? We need more of this. We need more of our, young superstars to participate in this dunk contest.
Thank you, Jalen.
Love you, Jalen.
Thanks, Jalen.
All right. So let's use the Zoom raise of hand now. And who would you love to see in the dunk contest? And by the way, if you're watching us on the YouTube stream, we'd love to have you join us up here on Zoom. We're just getting rolling into the takes. We'd love to get your take. We'd love to have you in our community. We're a community. We're building friendships and relationships here. I'm going to put in the chat there the link to join us on Zoom. Let's just go over to our broadcast. And here we can see in the chat everyone who's here today. Great to see you guys. Here is the link to join us on Zoom. Boom. And boom, we are live. Awesome. So let's see, we're going to go first to Moses, and then Matthew, and then Michael. Moses, give us your take. Just pick the number one player from each person. Who would you most love to see in the dunk contest, and why?
All right, so I'm going to go back a little bit. Well, not back because he's still in the league. But growing up seeing this man play, LeBron James, and I'm pretty sure everybody wants to see this man in a dunk contest. We're at a point where it may never happen. But we've seen his tomahawk dunks, just his arsenal he releases when he drives to the paint. When this man launches up, even the younger players now are still like, man, I don't know if I want any of that. So, I'm sure he would razzle and dazzle and amaze us surely at a slam dunk contest. If he would have done one when he was on the Heat, that's what I was really hoping for. During the Heat, he was a monster, a dog on the inside.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Hey, if we're drafting a fantasy team of all-time dunkers here today and you got first pick, I think that's a great first pick. LeBron James. All right, let's go next to Matthew. Great to get to meet you tonight. Matthew, who would you love to see in the slam dunk contest?
Man, Moses took my guy. I was going to say LeBron James, but since he's off the board, I got to go with Kobe Bryant. Like, you see Michael Jordan, if you got LeBron up there, you got to see the GOATs. I mean, you see the best of the best. They're great at what they're doing. Throw Kobe Bryant up there. He always amazes us. So he wouldn't let us down.
Awesome. I think that's a great second pick, Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe, I think, actually was in the slam dunk contest, like way back in his rookie year or something. It used to be cool for rookies to do it. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember D. Brown. I'm a Boston fan. I feel like D. Brown won the slam dunk contest, and then he got labeled as a dunker, and it actually hurt his ability, his reputation, ability to earn in the game. I feel like that was kind of the beginning of players not wanting to do this. And of course, there's the injury aspect as well. Jordan, you're up next. And hey, and after you go, if you could put your hands down. Jordan, who would you love to see in the slam dunk contest?
Well, I would like to see Especially right now, I got my Bulls shirt on. I'm going to take it back. Is to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, when he was healthy, pre-injury, like he was such a high flyer, especially as a guard, being able to do them high fly dunks, being able to get to the basket and like do it over big men. I would love to see that in the dunk contest, pre, of course, his injuries. And I think that would have helped cement him as being a great.
That's so interesting to hear. I can tell you're a diehard Bulls fan by bringing up Derrick Rose, because I of course remember him, playing as an MVP, but I think of him as like this mid-range guy. I'm trying to picture in my head, like, have I ever seen Derrick Rose dunk on somebody? I don't even know. So the fact that you're bringing that up is really interesting. I want to go back and look to see what some of his dunks might look like. Awesome. Next up is Cameron, and then Peyton, and then Will. And I love how you guys are like unmuting right before your turn and then muting when we're done. And after you go, if you could put your hands down in Zoom too. Let's go next to Cameron. Who would you love to see in the slam dunk contest?
Yeah, so I like four guys right now that are still playing.
Just give us one. We
All
gotta
right.
leave some for everyone else.
Okay, I like the if John Morant, he just had shoulder surgery, but John Morant, man, he can jump out the gym, he attacks the bucket, and he's not afraid to jam it on anybody. And I know you said just one, but the other rival he has in the league is Zion Williamson. If you look up these guys' dunk contests back when they're in high school, they're on the same AAU team together. They go way back, but they put on some of the best dunk contests I've seen. And it's kind of a shame that the NBA hasn't put these two in a dunk contest yet.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the league would if they could. Zion would have been my hands down pick too. Like, to me, he's just a freak of nature that we've never really seen a dunker like him, and with his body type. And I would love to see him throw it down. All right. Next up is where did I say we were going? Let's see. I see Peyton. Go ahead, Peyton.
Yeah, what's up, you guys? Cameron, you stole mine. I was so gonna go with Ja. I'm gonna stay on the trend. I'm gonna go current stars. I'm gonna take Giannis. Definitely want to see what Giannis can do. Although I don't know how creative he can get. I just seen some power dunks by Giannis, and I'm just curious at this point. I just want to see what he can do in the dunk contest. So definitely would love to see that.
Yeah. He's definitely a power guy. I totally get that. I feel like the tall guys always we're getting some echo here. I feel like the tall guys always get kind of penalized, and they don't get the same respect in the dunk contest. Awesome. Will, what about you? Who would you love to see in the dunk contest?
Can't believe you guys haven't mentioned him yet. He made stuff illegal. So I'm gonna go Jimmy Graham for dunking over the football, posts. That guy was different. I would want to see Jimmy Graham or Myles Garrett. One of the two. I think they could win it.
That'd be interesting. Jimmy Graham, you're talking about the tight end, right?
Yeah, he made it illegal for people to dunk over the field goal post.
That'd be a really creative way for like the NBA to team up. I don't know why NBA and NFL don't do much cross-brand stuff. That'd be an interesting topic.
They did Kevin Hart and Steph Curry, and people loved it. When Kevin Hart had to go up against Curry in a free throw or a three-point competition, people love that stuff.
I like that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because tomorrow night is going to be the celebrity game and the Rising Stars game. That's going to be our game of the night. We'll be broadcasting on Zoom tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun to get everyone's take on all those rising stars, because there's a lot of players in there I don't know that much about. I love getting into the story of a player. And that's one of the things we want to do in this show. It's going to be a community show, and we want to get into the story of players and like oh, these two guys played against each other in college. And with all of us bringing different perspectives, we'll all have those different memories and those stories. In building this show, my vision is that we're going to be the next Pat McAfee, the next Barstool, but it's going to be for the people. That's the trend in how everything is online these days. And here's the thing, we can't beat Pat McAfee or ESPN at what they do, right? We can't just say the same things they're saying. We got to go deeper into the story to differentiate ourselves, and that's what we're looking to do here. Awesome. Let's go next to Scott Tucker. Scott, who would you love to see in the dunk contest? Oh, you're on mute still.
There we go. I'm gonna go old school. Vince Carter, because he changed the way Duncan was. And I think he can create some new things that haven't been seen before. So that's why I would go with him.
Yeah, he's definitely the all-time greatest dunker, in my opinion. And I wonder what he could do today. I think it'd be a fun segment on this show, for us to have like, where are you? Where are they now? Type segments for various players. And to see a guy like Carter still dunk, I think that'd be a super fun angle. These are some of the things that we're going to get into. Part of the vision for this show is we're going to be reaching out to pro athletes and ex-pro athletes and talk to them about where are they now. And what we really want to get into is what did they learn in sports that made them successful in business? Because the amount of time we all love sports, if we're learning stuff that makes us better at life and business at the same time, then we're accelerating our business success as we're watching sports. I don't believe sports is just entertainment. And I believe that you could, with what you're learning in sports as a fan and as a player, these are the things that can make you very successful in life. Let's see, Vincent, you had your hand up before. Now it's not up anymore, but do you have a take on the dunk? You're a basketball guy, right?
Yeah, it's one of the first sports I loved when I was young. Originally I was with him on John Morant. I'm from the state of South Carolina. That's where he's from. He's aggressive. Like you said, he's not afraid to dunk on anybody. That's one, but on the flip side, can't ever leave out Mike too. I like that one.
Yeah. And Jordan, he was in it, right? Back in the day, my Jordan was in the dunk contest. Those Jordan Dominique battles were just legends, right? Until Spud Webb came along and stole the show. All right, so I'll just close out this segment with my pick. You guys picked a lot of good ones. I said Zion would have been on my pick. You already did.
I haven't had a pick yet myself.
Oh, you didn't go, Michael? Oh, sorry, I missed you. Go ahead.
No, all good. I'm gonna go a little bit off the path just because of kind of what Perk said. It's that involvement of players that actually want to be involved in it. I do think it should be a requirement that at least one all-star per year should be in it. And he also alluded to Matt McClung wanting to be in it. He's in the G League. He had to get signed to a 10-day contract in order to participate in this. But I actually think someone not in the NBA would probably be the best entertainer in this, and that's Jordan Kilgannon. If no one knows who he is the originator of all these dunks that these players are trying to recreate. I also think that he trains these players that are participating in the dunk contest. Some of them actually use his services. He has these crazy dunks called like the Scorpion. He'd do a behind the back, between the legs dunk. He's the one that originates all these new age dunks that I think if you want to get someone that is going to bring a lot of heads and eyes to the product itself and actually a good dunk contest, I think he should be the first call. And he himself has expressed his want to actually participate in this.
That's a great idea. Hey, do me a favor, put his name into the YouTube chat in case people, want to Google him and see some of his highlights. And, the idea, Michael, what did I feel like you just kind of gave me and we're kind of giving the league and all this is, hey, why not bring people outside the league? Why not have dunk experts? Why not have fans get to try out for this thing? I think and this is the beauty of these style of events. When I run these events for motivational speakers is that you crowdsource all kinds of ideas for your business about what do your people want? What do they want to see? Sharon, you have your hand up. I know you're a big football fan. Did you have a take on the dunker? You're on mute, Sharon.
Okay, sorry about that. I was just looking at the previews of everything, and they're saying that Jaylen Brown is the possible pick for the 2024 slam dunk. That's who I'm looking on.
He's the only real NBA player that's in there. I thought you were going to say Drew Brees because he's like your answer to just about every question. I feel like I know because you're such a big Saints fan. It would be awesome to see Drew Brees in the dunk contest. But here's my pick. I would like to see them put Steph Curry in there just to see what the little guy could do. I love seeing the little guy against the big guys. I remember back in the 80s, Spud Webb stole the show. I'd love to see what Steph could do. And here's how I think the NBA could approach this. It's like when I have employees in my marketing agency, when we make them their job offer, we tell them these things are required and expected. Like we expect you to make referrals to fill our other opening jobs. Like every quarter, it's expected. If you want to earn your quarterly bonus, that's one of the things you have to do. And it's different than like most companies. What they do is they'll like pay for an employee referral. But I flip it around, and then it's just like, hey, this is just what we expect you to do if you want to be a part of the company. And I feel like the NBA, could do that. Obviously, they have a players union they have to deal with, but that's how they could just, where the league picks and says, hey, this is who the fans want in there, or let the fans vote in there. That's who's going to be in there. Cool. I appreciate everyone's takes on that first topic. That was really fun and interesting. It's interesting. The Pat McAfee show, they produce their highlights right away. I'm really impressed with like their production and video editing team. And they pick out what they think are the most controversial or best topics of the show. And they did not pick that one. And I will listen to this show and make my own notes. And I'm like, this is going to be a great, fun topic for us to get together and talk about and get everyone's takes on. What I'm going to play with you next is what they picked as the #1 moment from their show. Now, keep in mind, when they're picking stuff from social media, they're talking about controversy. And this is what they picked from today's show to put out as a reel. It's already out there. It's a controversial topic. And if you have a take on this, after this, I'd love to get your insights as to what you think they're talking about, because they don't really kind of allude to it. So let me play this this next take from you for you from the show today. Come on, Zoom.
There's a Dynasty docuseries coming out, I believe, on Apple about the New England Patriots. They've interviewed, I think, a lot of very important people to the New England Patriots. Adam Vinatieri being one of them. He will be guest hosting our show tomorrow because I believe this Dynasty docuseries on Apple drops tomorrow. So Adam Vinatieri, who was a part of that and interviewed part of the Dynasty documentary, will be guest hosting, and I can't wait to see him.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be so
shredded.
I think I have it on fast speed here, which might make it hard for you guys to
the
hear.
producer of this Dynasty thing was on Up and Adams on FanDuel TV this morning. Made a comment about Ernie Adams that has certainly raised some eyebrows.
Did Ernie give up any of the secrets?
Well, no, actually, in episode 4, you actually get to see me asking him about Spygate for the first time. And one of my favorite lines from Ernie, he says, "There's certain things I'll be taking to the grave with me." And
what the hell does that mean? Whoa! What the hell does that mean, con man? There's certain things I'll be taking to the grave, Ernie Adams. So, does he have video of all the signs that everybody has?
And is Ernie is that Kay's father or grandfather? Do we know? Is Ernie?
No, I believe there's
no
relation.
Oh, because Ernie Adams, Kay Adams. I wonder if Kay potentially is the one that could get the information from big great grandfather Ernie Adams. We're not 100% sure, but take it to the grave. What is he talking about, Connor, up there in New England?
I'm not sure. Let me just say too, if he did have grandchildren, yeah, he wouldn't be telling them no matter what, because then if he did tell them, he'd have to also kill them, and that's not going to happen. So Ernie,
All right, so this New England Dynasty video is dropping, and being transparent, I'm a Boston guy here, and I feel like, hey, we got to keep our Dynasty in the limelight with everything that's going on with KC. But what do you think he could be talking about with regards to Deflategate? What do you think? Does anybody have a take on maybe what does he know that he doesn't want to share about Deflategate? Moses has his hand up first. We'll use the raise your hand if you want to comment in on this. Go ahead, Moses.
Well, I've always hated the Patriots, man. And honestly, I remember that game they played. I forgot what year it was, but I remember Mike Tomlin at a press conference says that they were spying on their communications, which they were, So when he's saying that, I mean, it's obvious. The popular opinion is the Patriots are cheaters. and they've been caught cheating. The Radiogate thing, Mike Tomlin, he was like, I said what I said when the reporter was asking him, are you sure that's what you think? Because, that spot, that Deflategate thing was shameful. It's a very shameful thing to have people messing around with the equipment to get the advantage. So when he's saying those jokes, they don't sound like jokes. When he's saying he's going to take it to the grave, and I honestly believe the Patriots did a lot of cheating, a lot more cheating that we don't even know about behind the scenes.
Yeah, appreciate your take. It's like, why, if there was nothing there, why wouldn't he just deny it, right? Why has he got to say it like that? What do you think, Vincent?
I think a statement like that is, pleading the fifth. To me, when people plead the fifth, they're lose a little bit of being guilty, in my opinion. But honestly, the Patriots organization, especially during their dynasty run, 6 or 7 Super Bowls they had, Tom Brady, everything going on, they were very smart, but they were also always looking at ways of getting around, getting over rules. So I think everybody in that organization really knows what goes on. I heard a quote from one of the players that played there, when you get away with cheating, they call it savvy. So I think that's one of the things that they preach around there.
I like that. Interesting, and I as much as I'm a Boston guy, right, I can step out of it objectively and be like, to have a 20-year run, something seems like, there's something more than was there possibly. Scott, what's your take on what we just heard? What do you think they're going to the grave with?
Well, there's an old saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But I mean, yeah, obviously they have something to hide, and he's not gonna just tell anybody about it. I mean, you look at the Tuck rule, dude. That was a huge call that was never called when they won their first Super Bowl. So, I mean, I think there's more to this story than people are saying. So, yeah, he's definitely hiding something.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, we got a lot of hands up. If you're just going to kind of agree with what everyone said, let's have you put your hands down. But if you've got something else to add to the conversation, if anyone, what I'd really love to hear, does anyone have a theory of, like, what specifically could he actually know? Obviously, we're just guessing, but if you still have your hands up, I'm going to assume you want to talk on that. Go ahead, Jordan.
Well, we're in the year 2024, and everybody thinks 2024 is the year of exposure. So I feel like, for him keeping that into the grave, it's probably not only going to expose the Patriots organization, I feel like a lot more organizations are going to get exposed with some of the things he may say. That's why he's keeping it to himself, because, everybody cheats, especially in the game of football. Everybody's stealing signs. Everybody's trying to get a fair advantage. It's just a lot of people just haven't been caught and haven't been a rule for it. So it's like, if he talk, a lot more people that, that is not Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft or Tom Brady is going to get affected. And that's why it's just like, let's just keep that in football lore.
Yeah. Makes sense. Does anybody think, what about the possibility that, hey, to go viral, and you got to be controversial these days? And in a way, he's getting the most bang for his buck by saying he's got something, but not saying anything. And any publicity is good publicity, is a possible theory. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, right? Controversy sells. As you can see behind me, I'm a Houston fan. So one cheater to another cheater. The Astros cheated. You're right. You're not winning if you're not cheating. Everybody does it. I think he said that to get the views. Like, everybody's like, what is this guy going to say? I agree with her. It's going to show a light that nobody wants to see. Back in the day when it did come out, the Browns got caught cheating too, but nobody really noticed because they weren't winning. So who cares if they're cheating because they suck? But once you start winning, that's when people start caring, just like the Astros, just like the Patriots, everybody. So yeah, I think it's like you said, controversy sells.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. It's kind of a sad state of sports that we've heard so many people say, "Hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying." That everybody cheats. It's like that's the standard. Like, what are we really teaching the world and our youth if that's like how we all look at sports? I think that I'm going to make a note of that as a topic for us to consider in more conversations. Let's go next to Michael. What do you think specifically? What do you think he might be hiding?
So I will say this. I mean, he was there for the whole tenure of Tom Brady. I mean, the 20 plus years. I think that between Spygate, Deflategate, I think he also doesn't want to put Tom Brady in the spotlight, the golden boy of the NFL for the past 2 decades. I think that if everyone always anticipated that Brady kind of cheated or knew about something, but also something that Shady McCoy said on a podcast with Julian Edelman about his time in Tampa Bay with Tom Brady, how they were practicing for the playoffs outside. And there was a building with big windows. And Tom Brady said, we're not practicing outside. We got to go inside. You don't know who's going to be watching. So I'm just saying that Tom Brady kind of also likes to light the fuel to the fire a little bit. So I just think that it can all come back to one guy, and Tom Brady could be that golden boy that could be, under the spotlight a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I think of that comment, it reminds me of like the cheating married guy who's accusing his wife of cheating, right? That's like the best defense is a good offense to if he wants to go inside and hide, he probably knows what they're doing. Will, what's your take? What do you think he's probably hiding?
I think it's a setup for the TV show. There's a show called The Dynasty. I think it's a setup, but it does make you think a little bit about the stuff with Michigan and then like everything happening there. And then now you got it coming back. And are they looking into the Patriots? Are they looking into what the Patriots really did with I think it was the Jets? Like the Deflategate thing isn't as big of a deal for me than the Spygate thing because I don't know. I feel like the Spygate thing was more serious and there was a penalty for that.
Well, and Deflategate, if I remember right, they lost that game. Didn't Baltimore beat them that year and go on to the Super Bowl? Wasn't that Flacco's championship? But, here's the thing. If it is for controversy, then why not go all in? Why not have the soundbite be, hey, I know what really happened. I was going to go with the grave with this, but instead, I'm going to tell all in this show, right? Now you'd really get...
Because I think people can get in trouble, Like we've seen people go too far and get in trouble. Like there's that barrier that you have to kind of like walk, Like
and I wonder if any of this is criminal. Like you were kind of in uncharted waters here, right? The NFL's like its own ecosystem of policing things. I don't know how that would go. Cameron, what's your take? What do you think they're hiding?
I'm just gonna say I don't really think they're hiding much. What they did cheat on, they already got caught for with Spygate and Deflategate. And then Deflategate game, I believe that was against the Colts in the AFC Championship game. So they went on to the Super Bowl that year. But I just believe, and with the Spygate thing too, the Patriots weren't the only team doing it. Yeah, the Browns also got caught, but a lot of teams are doing it. And I also agree with Jordan about corrupt ownership. I mean, and cheating at the higher level. I mean, when Houston Astros, when they cheated, they weren't the only team that are accused of it. I mean, the next year, the Boston Red Sox, one of the same coaches, moved over to that staff. They went to the World Series and they were caught of cheating with the same exact thing. So, and same thing with Schneider and the Commanders. I just agree with the corrupt at the higher levels, but I don't believe the Patriots were doing that. I just think it's a conspiracy. Like I said, the dynasty is one of the hardest things to accomplish in sports. They did it twice. I don't think you can really take away from what they did in the NFL. Brady and Belichick, that was an amazing duo. Yeah.
Yeah, and you make a good point that the Patriots paid the price for a lot of these crimes, right? They were penalized draft picks. Brady was suspended. You know, it's kind of like if you do the crime, you got to do the time, and they did. Let's see. I saw David jumped in here. I don't know if you missed the beginning of this. David's one of our regulars from Houston. Would love, you know, Houston is a city in the middle of these types of things. What's your perspective coming from Houston on the New England and what they might be hiding?
Yeah, for sure. I made it abundantly clear. I grew up very much anti Patriots, anti Brady, anti Belichick. But I mean, what are you going to do about it? I think what's done is done. The NFL didn't. I don't believe the NFL did a full investigation. That's why Roger Goodell destroyed the tapes back in 07 and wanted to leave it at that. Especially with, I don't think I've heard anybody mention it yet, but why would the NFL want to talk about cheating when gambling, when half of your sponsorships are DraftKings and FanDuel? You don't want to give any reason to think maybe the Super Bowl was rigged, maybe this preseason game was rigged. You don't want to give anything about that. So I think the NFL probably wants to dead that, and I don't think that this is going to be something that the NFL corporate office is excited to hear about Spygate and Deflategate. So I'm sure they want to put a stop to that. And the other thing I want to mention, because we talk about how Brady is the greatest of all time, even though he cheated for 3-4 Super Bowls. I don't think it's that big of a deal at the end of the day, because what's done is done. But some people mention the Astros. How come people hate it seems like people hate the Astros way more than they ever hated the Patriots, and the Patriots won 3-4 championships that have some taint to it. So just some food for thought as far as the Houston sports goes.
Hey, I know, like as a Boston fan, again, I pride myself on seeing things objectively as well. But I'm like, no, they just accused us of things and we won. But Houston, those guys clearly got caught, and like, players cop to it, and it's like so different. That's so different, right? Is I think the mainstream perception of this.
Well, the Patriots, they did end up copping to it, and then Deflategate, they got caught for that back in 07, and they went on to have the almost perfect season. Deflategate was the 2014 AFC Championship game, which I think really didn't mean anything, because you have people like Aaron Rodgers coming out like, yeah, I like a little bit less Aaron in the football, and they steamrolled the Colts. They went on to win the Super Bowl, and then a few years back, I think it was 2018 season, they were caught videotaping the signs on the Bengals sideline, I believe it was. So they have a history of cheating, which, like I said, I don't think the NFL is too happy that this documentary is coming out, that one of the leads into the story is we're going to take things to the grave because like I said, gambling is such a huge thing, especially with the NFL these days.
So, right. All right. Well, this was a really fun segment. It's our first time doing this Pat McAfee take here. I know a couple people got their hands up at the end, but I need to get us into our next segment here so that everyone knows what we're doing, because this could be a little bit tricky, but this was fun. I think we're definitely going to be incorporating this. This show's evolving. And this is the way I teach marketing, is you get into things, you try different things, you see what your people are interested in. It can't just be what I want to talk about. It's like, what does the audience want to talk about? And by the way, if you're there in the YouTube chat and you want to chime in on who you'd love to see in the dunk contest or on the Patriots, we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to have you on Zoom. I know some people may not be camera ready. My daughter always jokes with me like, Dad, women need like a day's notice if we're going to be camera ready. You can't just invite people from the chat to come up on Zoom. But we'd love to have you here on Zoom. And what I'm actually going to do, again, we're trying new things here, is I'm going to end this segment at the top of the hour here. The game of the night is going to be at 8:30. I'll put this link here for it. We're going to meet back on Zoom at 8:30 for the game of the night. I'll put the link here in the chat on YouTube as well, and I'll put it in as a comment there. At 8 o'clock, our AI guest expert is coming on. I would really encourage everyone to listen in on this. It'll be about a 20-minute segment about the importance of AI in your career. Jonathan Green, he's a best-selling author on AI. friend of mine in business. We pay him a lot of money to consult for my agency, so he's coming on as a guest. And as part of the deal, he's going to be giving away his book for free. This is also, depending on how this goes, he's a potential sponsor for our show. I'm already working on deals to line up sponsors, and he's developed an AI interface that everyone who comes tonight will get to be the beta testers of it and get it for free, but where you can basically put in your take, like, here's my take on the Patriots, and the AI will condense it and summarize it, and then there's a button you press which gives AI a command, now make it funny. And the AI will write it funny. Now, AI is not perfect in how it writes things, but it'll be cool for us to be more viral, more funny, and a fun thing to have. Imagine like you're at the sports bar and you can just like whip out funny jokes on stuff that are related to this. You know, I tested it out with some Tampa Bay stuff, you know, and it was funny. It said something like, hey, Todd Bowles is already the first coach to have a losing record with Tom Brady. Like, he's awesome. You know, just funny little things like that that make you smirk a little bit. And Jonathan, he's going to be doing the AI segment next right now, and coming up at 8. So if you want to meet back on Zoom, by the way, the Zoom will be the same Zoom link for the 8:30 game, the NBA game. We'll be watching together. It's the Bucks against John Morant and Memphis. We'll be watching that game. We'll be continuing to do takes from Pat McAfee show and also giving our commentary on the game, and we'll have the game live on center stage here. I'm going to put another link in here. Jonathan, the AI author, he wants to do the AI segment over on LinkedIn. Which is, again, a little bit complicated. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're jumping all over the place. So there's the link there if you want to hop in. And I would encourage you to hop in. It supports the show. Everyone that comes is going to get his book for free and get to be a beta tester of his software. And it'll be a 20-minute segment where I'll be interviewing him about the importance of AI in every career and really where AI is going. And what I love about Jonathan, he's not really one of these doom and gloom guys. He's not like the Terminators coming, into the world, but he does make some great points about how you won't be replaced by AI, but it's highly likely your job could be at risk to someone who knows AI. That learning AI is like learning internet skills. It's like not knowing how to use email or a web browser, and it's going to improve the efficiency of every position. So I'm going to put the link into the YouTube chat here as well. Here is the link. Hopefully, I think you do have to have a LinkedIn profile to join us. Join us for the LinkedIn for the AI. I'm just typing it into the chat here. The AI interview on LinkedIn. All right, so everyone knows what we're doing. We're going over to LinkedIn right now for the AI interview. And we'll be there for about 20 to 30 minutes. Then we'll be back on Zoom and back on that YouTube link for the game of the night coming up at 8:30 p.m. I hope everyone makes it through this and jumps through the hoops that we've got here. It's not like this every night. Jonathan just messaged me last minute and said he has a bigger audience on LinkedIn and wants to do the interview on LinkedIn. That's why we're over there, and you kind of got to do what your sponsors want to do. So I'm going to hop over there right now. Hope to see you guys over on LinkedIn in the chat, and then back here for our game of the night at 8:30 p.m. We'll be doing more Pat McAfee takes, and we'll be back on tomorrow to watch the NBA Rising Stars, the NBA Celebrity Game, and continue with more Pat McAfee takes, because that was really fun here today. All right, I'm going to close this Zoom, and I'll